Alright guys, here it is. This is the part that I have been waiting almost 3 weeks for. So it's the fuel line and the fittings. I'll open it up and show you guys all of the little parts and pieces in just a second. But if I would have known that I needed this, I would have just waited to do the install and not taken my car apart and let it sit for a month. But that didn't happen. So now you guys know, if you decide to go with this manifold, make sure you buy this before you start your install. Let my mistake be your lesson. Looks like they forgot this line and then opened it back up and put it in there.
Wow. Looks pretty cool. Do you know how this goes on?
These go in back here. That connects to the back. This goes here, I think. One of these goes here, or something like that. As you can see, we didn't have a vise at the house. So we had to come up to the shop to be able to get the vise, to get the fuel line put on, to put it on the manifold, to put the manifold on the car. Your vise is moving. Okay.
I really hope I don't scratch that.
Here we go.
And fuel line.
Woo!
First ever fuel line being made. It doesn't fit.
Need a wrench, probably.
That 22 should be the one that fits.
Yeah, I kind of wish that line. Okay, guys. Thankfully, Nick was able to get this fitting right here threaded on randomly. Don't know how it happened, but it happened. So we are about to put the manifold back on the car and get everything buttoned up after 6 weeks. So. We just finished the car. We're also in the middle of tracking a bunch of storms because there's been all kinds of tornadoes and really bad thunderstorms. Oh, and we also got the shop put up yesterday, but the car is done and it looks so good. So I'm going to do a full breakdown of everything that will come with the manifold and everything you'll have to get separately, and talk about the portions that gave me the most trouble and what I had to do to resolve that. But right now we are going to try to start it up for the first time and make sure that we don't have any issues. So last night we went to go test start the car, obviously. I told you guys we were about to start the car, but literally as soon as we touched the battery cable to the terminal, you could just hear fuel squirt out. And so Nick looked to try to see where it was coming from, and it was coming from this fitting right here. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can tell, but this install has actually been so terrible, and it in no part has anything to do with Holley. All of the troubles that I've been having has been through or with the plumbing and fuel line kit that I got, with the fittings not threading in or not fitting at all. And then having to wait 3 weeks for the kit in general, like, it's just been not a good experience. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. So, turns out we're just big old dum-dums, and we had the fitting, or the little bolt part for the fitting, backwards. So the O-ring portion needed to be towards the fuel rail, and it was towards the fitting. So we flopped that around, and the fuel is not leaking anymore.
All right.
And obviously, as you can see, we just started the car up and it is done. I do have to load the tune on though, which I will be doing probably here soon now that we're finished. I'll probably load that on tonight. Yes, but now that we're done, it needs a wash desperately. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like really bad. So I'm just so excited. Like, I don't think you guys understand how excited I am. Okay guys, it is the last and final update for the Holley manifold intake install. I kind of just wanted to go over all of the parts that you'll need. I'm sorry if I'm squinting, it's like really bright out here. But everything that comes with the manifold when you place the order for the manifold is going to be the top plenum piece, the front inlet piece, and then obviously the bottom portion of the manifold with the actual runners. And then with that, you'll get the black billet fuel rails. And that is all you get with that kit. You will have to buy separately from Holley. If you plan on using your stock throttle body, you'll have to buy you can kind of see the black throttle body adapter if you plan on using your stock throttle body, and you can get that from Holley. And then separate from Holley, you will have to buy, there's not like a specific kit that you have to buy. You can just buy, what I have is an 8-an fuel line. So it came with the fitting that screws into the back side of the fuel rails, and then you make the fuel line out of, it's like a braided line. So you make that line with those two fittings, and you can honestly buy it off of Amazon. I looked because I was having so much difficulty with the kit that I got. So yeah, you can get the fuel line, and then you will have another portion, and I'll insert like a clip to show you what I'm talking about, but you'll have another portion of fuel line 90s off of the front half of the fuel rail, and that will flip into another fuel line that's up by the firewall. So those are the two fuel lines you'll have to make. And then you will have to, I went through so much difficulty with this. There's two openings on the bottom inlet of the manifold. I actually plugged one of them, and I used one of them. So it's for the brake booster, and there is a line, and I'll insert a clip of this also. There's an ugly like line that runs from the brake booster up, and it's supposed to clip into your stock manifold, and it will now clip into one of the fittings that you put into the bottom inlet opening on the Holley manifold. And then, like I said, I just plugged the other one. From the factory, you will have like three plugs that will go onto fittings, but I just deleted the two and then ran the one from the brake booster to the inlet on the manifold. And then the third one, 2 of them were for the brake booster, I'm assuming. And then the third one plugged into the air intake. And from my understanding, you don't really need all 3 of those, you just need 1. So I am going to actually, I don't know if you can see this, I'll do a close-up of it, but I'm actually just gonna plug that opening on the air intake. This is the K&N Typhoon series cold air intake. Right now I have it kind of like makeshift rigged up, but I'm gonna be plugging that opening. And then you have another evap line. I'll show you that, a close-up of that also. You don't need it. You can just plug in the electrical just so you don't have a check engine light. Yeah, so you'll see that. But now I actually have a small fuel leak from the fuel pressure sensor that goes in the fuel rail. So I have to figure out how to fix that. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. I actually just got our shop put up at the house. So hold on, I'll spin you guys around real quick. So we just got the shop put up and we did the concrete ramp into it. So in the next video, I'll probably talk a little bit about the shop and the purpose of the shop, and definitely gonna do kind of like a little series as we start moving stuff into the shop and decorating it and, you know, wiring it up and putting a lift in there. And yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I'm super excited to get the shop space filled up and start working on my SN95 in there. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Oh, my eyes are hurting. I'm gonna talk like this because I don't understand why it's so bright out here. Yeah, so